once again, it's ROCKFLESH.com coming from TechFest, and I have 2 of the 500 with me currently. Hello. I believe the rest are stuck in the motorway.
Yeah, they're currently in traffic.
On the motorway, not in the motorway.
Yeah, to say that we don't live very far away at all, it was quite a nightmare getting here today. Yeah, traffic getting in. Yeah,
it's always the way. Always the way. And we've just been talking beers, Jupilers. So might as well open with a question that we always ask anyway, which is, if the 500 were a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, what drink would you be and why?
You know, the thing is, this is a very hard question because we have very different opinions in the band. Mark is very into his alcohol, his real craft beers, his real fancy wines, fancy whiskies, and I like shit beer. I drink lager.
We literally go to a fancy craft beer place and I'll be like, let me have a try of that IPA, can I have a try of that stout? And he'd be like, well, have you got any shit beer? Like some pissy lager.
So
you got Foster. You got any Carlin? Right. That's him. That's me.
Yeah. I don't do anything too fancy,
so IPA one hand and pissy lager on the other.
Yeah. I suppose it's that idea of all the different ideas, genres, all that kind of thing as a band. You bring lots together as well.
But Kelsey's a bit younger than I am. I always joke that he'll grow into it eventually.
Or you'll be sure into
Then he meets a 60-year-old dad who also just drinks shit lager, so I don't know if it's going anywhere.
These things sometimes they just are, basically.
Exactly.
So how have you guys been? As a band?
Good, busy.
Fantastic.
Busy?
Yeah, very busy.
Yeah, we've just spent 2 months in the studio. It was meant to be 3 weeks. So the album's taken a lot longer to write and record than we were expecting, which is a blessing and a curse.
I was going to say, is that a good it's taken longer?
I think
nothing went negatively, nothing went well. It was always flowing, but I think we've gone in with such a new mindset of really trying to create something special that there was no space for any tolerance or anything, so we've really been pushing for it.
We didn't waste any time, but we just kept adding weeks onto it because it kept growing and growing.
Was it a case of tinkering, or was it a case of actually kind of writing whilst you were there?
I think we were as prepared as we ever have been, more prepared than we ever have been before going into the studio. But then we've written in the studio much more than we ever have done. So the whole process from end to end has been a lot more epic.
Yeah.
Which is good, like I say,
which is what you were trying to achieve.
It has worked really well, and it has, like the outcome has been worthwhile. So
we still walked out thinking, if we had another 2 months, right, close the lid on it.
Yeah, it's the perfectionist element.
Exactly.
It could go on for years, but we're really happy with it. We're excited to release it.
Cool. So when will that be seeing the light of day?
That's the $1 million question. Hopefully this year. This calendar year. I think probably more like spring next year.
We're waiting on the proper mixers coming back, so as soon as we've basically got initial mixers and that, and we've got everything to a decent standard, that's when we need to start working with the team, the label, the manager, and getting a bit of a solid plan together. But obviously it's hard to get things solidly in place until we've got some stuff back, so we're just waiting. So it's a bit of a waiting period at the minute, and then we'll make a solid plan of action.
Obviously you got to make decisions on dropping singles or one big drop or those kind of things. Like you say, there's so many different ways that you can release music now that some people don't even bother with the kind of historical cycle of an album drop kind of thing. But there's that excitement
one by one until it's
exactly. And then it's like, oh, actually that's an album's worth, isn't it? It's like, oh, it's an album.
We're not releasing an album, we're going to release 10 singles.
And then put them on one CD.
Exactly. And then go, you could pre-order the CD of all the singles.
Exactly.
But no, I think it's there. A million different ways to do it these days, aren't there? So it makes sense to discuss it with the teams, the relevant teams. What can we expect on the album then? More of the same, which sounds a really negative thing. I realised as I was just saying it. So more of the same. But it's like more of the same because, like, your last record in particular was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. It's going to be heavier, it's going to be softer, it's going to be faster, it's going to be slower.
It's going to be more commercial.
It's going to be uglier. It's going to be uglier, it's going to be prettier.
Oh my word, you've practiced this one.
No, honestly, we were writing it and we were saying this as we were writing it,
It is. It's moved away somewhat from. I think we're like it's progressing from what we were, from what the last couple of albums have been.
I think so. I think it's not gonna sound like anything we've done before, but it's still gonna sound unequivocally like the 500. So
Still gonna have that song structure.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna have the edge that we always have.
Yeah, I think it often sounds a bit weird when you're kind of like, well, this band's really good, they do this and they do that, but they don't really just have song structures. And it's like, you know, that's still at the end of the day what lots of people want with a, you know, a tune or a track. I think it's one of the things that you guys do really, really well and always have done is actually write songs with different elements in, but actual songs where you go, right, I know what that is, I remember it, it's catchy, you know, it's got the hooks. Exactly.
We're all about the earworms for sure. Like we like to release something that's got something catchy that just gets into your head and stubbornly doesn't want to get out.
And is that nice to play as well?
It really is.
It just
really
feels epic and it's exciting. Like when you're playing big choruses and that, it's a good feeling, isn't it? It's good to play. Yeah.
Definitely. Excellent. Let's do a few silly questions. A few very silly questions. Who in the band has got the best hair?
Me.
Definitely.
Saying that, to be fair, John, our vocalist, like if you see him show to show, he changes his hair all the while, and literally he's got an amazing head of hair. He'll decide one day to shave it off, and then we'll be like, oh no, you should grow it out for this. It looks better. So then a week later he'll come and he'll have long hair. I think he just tenses and it comes out. His hair grows so thick and so fast and healthy, and literally literally. Yeah, so he'll go from like one cut to another, from short to long.
Definitely John and Kelsey. Definitely them two.
Excellent. Most ridiculous poses on stage. I think, I mean, we know we've obviously got the machine gun microphone, which you know was a highlight of our review.
That's haven't noticed.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that could be a winner. But yeah, to be fair, I think it's you more than anyone that at the same point give it the full on with the guitar. That one.
Fire it out with a machine. Come see us later. We'll have loads of other poses on stage.
This is what I always hope for with you guys. It's just like, It was. I was like, oh, is that machine gun like a one-off last year, the kind of thing with the TechFest? And I like mentioned it in the review and stuff. And John said about it, and then I was like, right, at Radar, I was like, saying to my wife, oh, I wonder if they'll do it again, kind of thing. And like, he did it again. So he did it again. He could help himself. No, perfect, absolutely perfect. Okay, if you were to have someone play you in a biopic of the band, who would you have play you in the film?
It's got to be Johnny Depp playing John.
Oh yeah. Johnny Depp all day is John. Yeah, shame it wasn't a younger Johnny Depp, but literally, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon our John could play Johnny Depp's biopic.
Yeah, literally. When John does his impersonations of any Johnny Depp character or him himself, Jack Sparrow, stuff like that, it literally not only does he already look like him, but he absolutely nails it. He's so good at it.
Do that on stage.
Yeah,
do one
don't
set.
encourage it.
Like, no.
What happens like backstage or what's happened when we're just chilling out from John is literally gold, and we're like, we need to get this out there because he's so good at impressions, like ridiculous, and it's just hilarious. But yeah, Johnny Depp's John.
I reckon Liam Gallagher, even though he's not an actor, he could do a wicked John Ely.
Yeah.
Oh dear. How about for you guys? You don't get out of it that easy.
No. I thought I had got away with it.
I'm finding it hard to think of any. Oh God, what's his name? Oh God. Is it? Oh, I don't know what his name is, but he does actually look like me if he grew his hair that bit longer in that. Jewish actor, blonde hair, always like slightly longish. He's in Beat the Fockers, but only not as one of the main people. I can't remember his name. He did lots of great films.
Stiller, is it?
Owen Wilson.
Yes, might be
Owen Wilson.
Might be Owen Wilson. I'm thinking about. What's it?
We could go for Owen Wilson.
Yeah, we'll go for Owen Wilson. I'll take that. Yeah, I don't think that's. No, that's not actually Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I can see that one. I think that'd nail it.
Yeah, fucking knows who I will play. No, I'm not interested enough to have someone play me.
Oh, would you be like playing yourself? as it were. Which was certainly dodgy, but yeah. It's the actual guy playing himself.
Yeah, that's really him.
This is really weird.
It's definitely a question we should have rehearsed before.
There's always next time, as we always say. There's always next time. One of the questions we always ask at Techfest is, what is the most metal biscuit you can think of, and why?
The most metal biscuit.
I had a space stroopwafel when we played it in a thingy recently. That sent me feeling pretty wild.
He ate like 3/4 of it, and I think he transcended his
Lost
body.
my mind.
I think he died a little bit.
I absolutely love stroopwafels, and it was like, it's hard to stop when you're eating one, isn't it? So
Exactly.
made that mistake. But yeah, so.
Chocolate fudge brownie, heavy, sticky.
I like that.
It's like the sugar riff of the cake.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think he's like a 100-year-old man of kind of, of biscuits. I like that. The 500 festival. Who are you having playing on your festival? And where would you play on it?
Obviously it's our festival, so we headline clearly.
I always like that confidence.
I'm a massive Cult of Luna fan. So I would love to have Cult of Luna on there.
See, it doesn't even fit the vibe, but like all I listen to really is like the more progressive style of metal, like post rock. So like basically the ocean, Catatonia, Swallow the Sun, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You gotta have Sleep Token in there.
Yeah, Sleep Token's gotta be down.
Yeah, we fucking love them.
Yeah.
Big
like
fan.
Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival. Yeah.
John's massively into Carnival.
Yeah, saw him a couple of weeks back at Grass Park, literally, to be fair, same with Catatonia.
Any band, dead or alive, I'd have the original lineup of Alice in Chains. Oof,
That's a good one.
we're big Seattle fanboys.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, definitely.
Actually, that leads on to another question. If there was any band, dead or alive, that you could join, what band would you like to join?
I gave you my answer already, I think. I think it would have to be Alice in Chains. Yeah, mid to late 90s.
And mine would be System of a Down. That's my childhood biggest influence ever, and still go back to it every now and again. Doesn't sit perfectly in line with what I listen to nowadays, but yeah, I'd always go back. It'd be amazing to be part of that. That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Perfect. So we've got the recordings, they're ready, waiting to be used. How about tour stuff coming up the rest of this year?
We haven't got a lot of books because we've been just focusing on getting this album done. We've got today, obviously. We didn't headline the second stage, and then we've got another show in the festival in London.
Yeah, they're doing Coalition. There's a few like decent little headliner things, but like one-off spurt things. In terms of touring, I don't think until we've got a solid plan together. Like I say, once we've got everything back to the team, made a bit of a plan, and then we'll start booking things solidly in preparation for this.
I always feel like you guys don't service us in the northwest.
Oh yeah, I know
much.
it's been.
We're probably gonna do the full like UK tour. November, December, I'd say, and then probably do Europe in the new year. So that's the plan.
Awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, thank you very much for joining us and for having a chat.
Thank you very much for having us, man.
Doing the difficult questions, the hard-hitting questions.
I like the questions.
The hard-hitting journalism that is ROCKFLESH.com. Like, subscribe if you want to see more cutting-edge journalism. Also, review of their act, the photos from their act, and from all the other stuff at Techfest this weekend. Check out ROCKFLESH.com. Thank you.